hello and welcome to the Canoe Sprint National Champs for 2021. We're at beautiful Lake Karapiro in the Waikato, where thankfully the weather gods have played their part this year. Yes, we've been blessed with clear, fine weather over the weekend. No problems, no excuses for any of these paddlers not to perform at their best today. Coming up, we've got coverage of all the major events over the 200, the 500 and the 1,000 metre distances. Unfortunately, we don't have the elite women paddlers taking part this year due to Olympic trials, but the full complement of the men's team are here, and it's a perfect way to lead in to our first interview with Tim Brabants, who's one of our elite coaches. He's lakeside with our reporter, Kingy Gilbert.
Yeah, and your boys are in the hunt today. It's all preparation for the Olympics.
Yeah, busy day. So we've got the racing 1,000 metre race today. So we had the heat semi and final in the K1s, and now they've got a heat and a final in the K2s coming up. But yeah, it's going well. It's a good test. First big racing we've done for a long time since Blue Lake's Regatta. So it's a good opportunity to get this done.
So from your experience, how important is an event like this before the Olympics?
Oh, it's key. I mean, it's key for a number of reasons. It's key for the guys to have an opportunity to race because we're not going to World Cups prior to the Games. But also key because you've got the rest of the paddling community here too. So get to see the Olympic guys racing and training and seeing what level they're at. Gives them a bit of a line in the sand where you've got to get to be that good.
So how do you manage the expectations in the group with the Olympics and obviously high-level elite training? Yeah,
we've got a solid group now. Our group's increased in size that are training here at Karapiro every day. And they're a group that they work hard and they support each other really well, which is the way we've gone for. We've gone for a really good team where even if you're competing for the Olympic spot, you're still supporting your teammates. And that's kind of how it's worked out really well. So you got Hamish and Duffy are good contenders and have kept Max Curtis really honest all the way through the process, and the other guys in the K1s just keeping going and pushing everybody in training day in, day out. And it's actually become a really healthy atmosphere, which is good to see. So the boys at the top are just nibbling at their toes the whole time, which keeps them going.
All right, well, let's get to our first race of this year's finals. It's the men's K1 1,000 metres, and this involves Zach Firkins, who's in lane number 9. That's actually at the top of the screen. He is the national champion from last year. But look at all the high-quality paddlers in the middle of the course. We have Hamish Legarth, we have Ben Duffy, Curtis Emery, Quade Thompson and Max Brown. Max Brown and Curtis Emery and Thompson, probably the leading three. We have Thompson in lane number 4, Emery in lane 5 and Brown in lane 3. He's in the white boat at the moment and has got a slight lead. Now with me in the commentary is Alicia Hoskin, one of our elite paddlers. Nice to have you along, Alicia. Tell me what the challenge is straight off the bat here for the longer distance.
Yeah, so these boys have about 30 strokes to get to their max speed in the race. And now, as you can see, they've settled in. And this part of the race is about being as efficient as possible, doing the speed that these boys are doing with the least amount of energy. So then with this longer distance, they'll be able to come back for that last half of the race.
So Max Brown is in lane 3. He's in the white boat. He's from Whanganui. Quade Thompson next to him in the red boat. He's from Poverty Bay and in the son, of course, of Alan Thompson, an Olympic gold medalist from 1984. And then Curtis Emery in the black boat. And it's expected to be a three-way battle. These three had a great battle at Rotorua late last year. And you expecting the same again today?
Yeah, I mean, these boys have always been battling it out for that top spot. So I don't suspect today would be any different.
Yes, indeed. And Max Brown just pipped Quade Thompson on the line in that event in Rotorua on the Blue Lake late last year. Emery and Brown are off to the Olympics as well, the Tokyo Olympics. They qualified a K2 1,000 metre boat at the Oceania Championships last year. So reminding you that Emery's in the black boat. Thompson, who's got that slight lead at the moment, is in the red boat. There he is right there. And then Max Brown, who is quite capable of a withering finish, isn't he?
Yes, he sure is. And these boys will be doing a quick reset with their technique just to find their rhythm because they're in the last half of the race now.
Indeed they are. Right at the top of the screen, Zach Firkins, last year's national champion, looks like he's in about 6th place. We've got a good shot of Fred Tier right down the bottom here, who's not far behind Emery. And then Ashton Reiser right at the top there too, just in front of Zach Firkins. He's a very accomplished paddler, but over the shorter distances. So as expected, we've got Emery, we've got Thompson and Brown at the moment. Good shot here of Max Brown. He's quite the paddler, isn't he?
Yes, he's probably one of our best long-distance paddlers in the sport men's squad. and he's got a strong finish on him, so just watch this space.
It looks like Thompson, though, has a slight lead at the moment.
You can tell their stroke rate's coming up as they come into this last push of the race.
Yeah, Emery at the top, but Max Brown's making his move now, Alicia.
Yes, he is looking pretty good and he's looking pretty confident, so my bet's on him.
Yeah, Max Brown coming through from Whanganui at the bottom here. Quade Thompson looks like he's in a good battle with Curtis Emery from Wellington for second place at the moment. It looks like Brown by about half a boat length at the moment, as they're not too far away from the finish in this men's K 1,000 metre race.
They'll be really gritting their teeth at the moment. This is the final push. They've got about 30 strokes to go.
Well, the lungs are burning as they come down to the finish line. Beautiful conditions here for the finals of the men's K1 1,000 metres. And it looks like Brown has got a comfortable enough lead now with Thompson slipping off the pace. There is Brown winning. Curtis Emery gets second place. And it's Quade Thompson who comes home in third. Victory for Max Brown.
What an awesome finish there from Max Brown. He'll be so stoked with that. And a close finish between Quade Thompson and Curtis Emery.
So let's have a look at the results. There's the time for Brown, 3:33.96. So just over half a second ahead of Emery, with Quade Thompson coming home in third. Fred Tier, a very good paddle from him, finishing in fourth, 3:39.42. And maybe a little bit disappointed will be Zach Perkins, last year's national champion. But reminding that Brown and Emery didn't compete in this race last year, but Perkins finishing in sixth place with his brother at the tail of the field.
Champion K1 1,000 metres, 2021 national champs. How does it feel?
Oh, I got a bit emotional when you say that. Yes, I've only ever got titles in the team boat, so it's quite special for me to get an individual title. So yeah, I guess I've always felt like I've had lots of value in the crew boats, which is cool because that's what we're going to the games for. But to get a medal in the single, yeah, it's quite cool.
And talk us through the race. How did it unfold?
Oh, just felt kind of perfect. Like, it was interesting because the sun's directly on your eyes. Should have bought a hat. I couldn't see anything the whole race. But I feel like because of that, I had to just go purely off feeling and pacing. And that's what we've been doing, trying to be a bit smarter about it. I tend to go out a bit too hard sometimes. So that one, I was just trying to be as consistent as I could the whole race. Don't spend all my biscuits early. And yeah, I got to the 200 to go. I was like, I'm going to win this. Like, I've got it. And obviously the boys gave me a good nudge, but I just felt pure confidence in the end. It was lovely.
Awesome, mate. Well, congratulations. Fabulous race and a good start to the weekend.
Yeah, thanks heaps, guys, and thanks everyone for coming out. It's real special to have you all here.
Congratulations. Cheers, Max.
Thanks.
Yes, and we'll see more of Max later on in the regatta. Now, Alicia was actually in Karapiro at the weekend, and it's a pleasure that Kingy caught up with her lakeside.
I've only been here for the last days. We just finished up in Auckland with our trials, but it's been so awesome to watch both the tiny little kids right up to all the masters paddlers, and they've done an amazing job, yeah.
And what do you think sets apart the winners from, say, the other third and fourth place teams or athletes?
I reckon it's whoever has the biggest grit face. There's the teeth grit, and then there's the tongues that come out in the last 50 metres, and those are the ones that are pushing for the line and seem to be the winners.
And have you got any tips for other young paddlers coming up and wanting to make the elite team in the Olympics? What would your advice be for them?
Just keep working hard. I mean, kayaking's a pretty challenging sport. There's the technique, the balance, the training and the speed. So it takes a long time, and, you know, it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of practice at the balance, the technique and the training. So just keep going, really.
All right, our next race is going to be the K1 500 metres final. Amy Fisher, the hot favourite here. She's from Hawke's Bay. She's in lane number 4. Olivia Brett in lane number 5 is one to keep your eye on too. She's from Ottawa, which is in Canterbury. And they're underway in the 500 metre K1 final. Amy Fisher was third in 2020 behind Lisa Carrington and Caitlin Ryan. But reminding you that Carrington and Ryan and the rest of the New Zealand elite women's team are not competing this year due to the Olympic trials. And here is Fisher, who should be the clear favourite, Alicia.
Yes, she is an extremely talented athlete. and extremely fast off the line. So as you can see there, she's got a great lead off the start, which gives her a huge advantage going into the next part of the race.
Yeah, she's already a boat length clear, isn't she? In lane number 5 there in the yellow boat is Olivia Brett.
Yeah, so Amy will be settling into her running pace at the moment and just trying to hold that for as long as possible.
And we got Lucy Matahaere in lane number 6. She was in this race last year, finishing in 6th place. But jeepers, look at the water between first and the rest of the field at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing pretty well for being young girls in the back there. But Amy Fisher is for sure the standout performer in this race.
Yeah, she is a class above the rest, and it looks like there's going to be a huge gap between her and the rest of the field. It'll be interesting to see how these minor placings come up here, Alicia, too, with Olivia Brett, Lucy Matahaere, and a couple of others like Summer Lulu Clifton.
Yeah, these girls are currently trialling for the Under-23 World Championships this year, so they're doing awesome at the moment. Just staying out of Amy Fisher's wash there, as you can see in the picture.
She's a class paddler, Amy Fisher, and she's got a huge gap. Remember, this race is only 500 metres long, and Fisher is going to win this very comfortably. It'll be interesting to see what sort of time she posts here as she comes up to the line. Easy win there for Amy Fisher from Hawke's Bay. She is the national champion in the women's K1 500 now. Let's have a look and see who's going to get second place. Looks like Matahaere is going to get home in second, just ahead of Emma Kemp here in the black boat, lane number 2. So great race there from Lucy Matahaere from Otago to get second, just ahead of Kemp, who's from Mana Kayak.
Yeah, as you can see there, Amy Fisher will be really happy with that race. It's a bit hard when the open girls aren't there to really push her, but I think she can be really happy with her performance.
1:49.62 was her time. So Matahaere getting second, just ahead of Emma Kemp, with Olivia Brett finishing in 4th place, just ahead of Summer Lulu Clifton. And the rest of the paddlers doing a good job to compete in the K1 500 metres women's final.
Here with the women's K1 500 champ. Amy, how was your race?
It was so good. Obviously it was a pretty quiet field, in terms of we were missing a few key players, but I just went out there with the intention of just wanting to race beautifully and just seeing what I've got in the body at this point in the season. So it was cool. I'm really happy with how it went.
So talk us through, what were you thinking for each of the sections, the first part, the middle and the end?
Good question. It's a little bit of a blur, but I guess I just try to break it down into small chunk-sized pieces, because looking down 500 metres, can be a daunting experience. But I guess I just wanted to take 75 metres out hard and then just try and settle into really, really efficient paddling, and just trying to chase art, and light up my lane. And I feel like I managed to do that. And then the last 100 metres was just a hang on, try and avoid those ugly strokes.
Oh, that's awesome, Amy. You certainly lit it up today. Outstanding effort and well done.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Awesome.
So we move to the men's K2 1000 now, and all eyes on lane number 5, Max Brown and Curtis Emery. They are going to be representing New Zealand at the Olympic Games in Tokyo this year in this event. So they are the hot favourites to win their national title. However, they have Hamish Legarth and Ben Duffy to overcome. They are the current national champions. And in lane number 3, third up from the bottom here, Scott Martlew and Ben McCallum may be ones to keep your eye on as well. Scott Martlew is actually a para-canoeist and will be going to Tokyo for the Paralympics later this year. So he's a great paddler too, isn't he, Alicia?
Yeah, and that's pretty impressive to be able to stay really in sync with Ben McCallum there, who is our able-bodied paddler, and to be able to work together so well, because paddling a K2 is so much about working together, and it's a big team effort.
So Max Brown and Curtis Emery, they are leading at the moment. The Legarth and Duffy in second place. They're in the black boat in the middle, and the second white boat currently in third place at the moment. Up on lane 6 is Jack Clifton and Fletcher Moles from Waitara in Taranaki. But it's all eyes on Brown and Emery. They didn't compete in this race last year, Alicia, but they really should go away and win this, given they're off to the Olympics this year, you'd think?
Yeah, I mean, this time last year, they were at Oceania's qualifying this boat for the Olympics. So this is a really good trial run for them in this final before they head off to the games.
Now, we touched on the 1,000 metre distance, the challenge for the single paddler, but what about when there's two in the boat over the longer distance?
Yeah, so the two fastest individuals don't always make the fastest K2, so there's so much about working together and staying really in sync with each other. So as you can see here, the timing between Max Brown and Curtis Emery is really good, and that means they can really find that boat run together.
And they're starting to move clear of Legarth and Duffy, who are good paddlers as well.
Yeah, they have a good finish on them, so I'd still keep my eye on them. But at this stage, yeah, Curtis Emery and Max Brown are doing really well.
So Max Brown's in the front of the boat, Curtis Emery in the yellow. They've got about a boat and a half, you reckon, at the moment, length lead?
Yeah. But all the game can change in the last half of the race, so they've just got to find their rhythm together. As you can see, their shoulders are down, their necks are relaxed. They're really working their legs to find that rhythm together.
Oh, yeah, they've put some distance now between Legarth and Duffy, haven't they? They've really started to kick clear kind of around the halfway stage, and it's exciting times, isn't it? This is going to be the first Olympic Games for Brown and Emery. Years of hard work, as you well know, are going to be ultimately rewarded here.
Yeah, and that experience is really starting to show now, because Hamish Legarth and Ben Duffy are part of our under-23 team, so they're looking promising for the next couple of games. But at this stage, yeah, that experience is starting to show.
Brown and Emery are going well in lane number 5 in the men's K2 1,000 metre final. And there's Legarth and Duffy currently holding second place. Martlew and McCallum are going well. They're currently in third. So we'll keep an eye on them to see if they can hold that position. But look at Emery and Brown almost out of shot there. And they are really starting to sizzle.
They will be really stoked with this race at the moment, because a lot for them is just about the execution, making sure they spread their energy over the whole 1,000 metres. And as you can see, they're not dropping off the pace.
They are really coming to the line strongly here. Easy win here for Brown and Emery, the 2021 Olympic-bound paddlers. Look at the gap back to Legarth and Duffy. They're national champions from last year. And let's see who's going to get home in third place. There's a bit of a battle here between Martlew and McCallum, and they just get there ahead of Birkins and Will Pitter from the Poverty Bay Kayak Club. But really, it's all about Brown and Emery, and they ended up winning it comfortably, didn't they? By more than 8 seconds. Legarth and Duffy, very close between Martlew, McCallum, Birkins and Pitter. Just 0.02 of a second between third and fourth place. Great battle between those crews in the K2 1,000 metres final.
Curtis, how was it?
Yeah, it was good. It's been a big day, so it was nice to get out there and put some plans that we want to work towards all the games, and put the plan together and try execute it as well as we can before we head overseas.
Yeah, you certainly executed it. Outstanding race. What was going through your mind in that last 500?
Oh, last 500, the body was screaming at me, but it was just like, keep my head in it, because I know my body's going to be able to cope. It's just keep my head and try to finish it off with Max. Yeah.
Awesome. Max, another great race today. How does it feel?
Oh, it's good to see some mahi paying off. To get a result like that is pretty awesome, especially against Ben Duffy and Hamish Legarth. We train with those boys every day, and they're pretty hard boys to beat. So no, it was just pretty cool, eh? We were away, sadly, last year at the Nationals because we were off qualifying the boat for the Olympics, so we missed out on a title then, so it's good to get it back this time, but yeah, stoked.
Yeah, fabulous. In that last 250, you guys just streamed ahead. What was going through your mind?
Oh, that's like the most important part of the race, especially at the game. So it's like you got to nail it here, and then hopefully at the games you nail it as well. So it's just practicing it, eh?
Yes, Max Brown. We'll see if he emerges with another title a little bit later on. We now move to the women's K2 500 metre final. 6 crews in here. Samalulu Clifton, Lusa Matahaere in lane number 2. Kim Thompson and Courtney Williams in lane 3. Ariana Kariopa and Alex Fraser in lane number 4. And we have Sophie Brook and Emma Kemp in lane 5. Brooklyn Saunders and Alex Birmingham in lane 6. And Brittany Marquette and Jess Marquette in lane number 7. And they're underway. 2 crews from Mana Kayak, Brook, Kemp, Saunders and Birmingham. Birmingham is actually a national champion from last year. Clifton also a national champion from last year. They were together, but they've changed crews this year, Alicia, and I'm assuming this is quite common at the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, these girls are coming from different clubs, and some of them in the high-performance team and the under-23 team, so they're really practicing for potentially later on in the year. But as you can see, the conditions have slightly changed to a slightly more side wind, which is a little trickier off the start.
Yeah, a tiny bit of chop on the water too, or is it looking pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely feel the chop when you're out there in the boat, especially, as you can see there, we've got a few little wobbles from that chop. So whoever can hold their form for the longest in these conditions will take it out.
Yeah, Thompson and Williams, there were real problems there. They lost their motion, or their in-sync motion, didn't they? But
yeah.
At the moment, we've got Clifton and Matahaere, who really have raced away at the bottom of the course here. They're on the white boat, lane number 2. They've got a good lead, and they're going well.
They are going really well. These girls have trained really hard in K2, so it's good to see them putting a performance together.
They are certainly in the box seat at the moment. It's going to take quite some effort from the rest of the crews to catch up to them now over this 500-metre distance. Summer, Lulu Clifton and Lucy Matahaere.
Yeah, and it's a close battle for those second and third placing, so we'll see if these conditions cause any more drastic wobbles.
Looks like it's Thompson and Williams holding second in lane 3, and Sophie Brooke and Emma Kemp also going particularly well in lane number 5. They look like they're battling it out for second place at the moment, but Clifton and Matahaere are looking very solid. Their technique is very good too.
Yep, they're showing their experience in this boat, and as you said, Summer Lulu was part of last year's winning crew, so she's stroking that boat really well.
So Summer Lulu Clifton and Lucy Matahaere to the line there. Good win for them. Good result there too for Sophie Brooke and Emma Kemp. They came home with a wet sail, didn't they? How did they sneak home into second place? 2:04.85 was their time. Clifton Matahaere 2:03.71. Saunders and Birmingham home in third, 2:07.63. Marquette's coming home in fourth. Thompson and Williams, inconsistent race from them. They finished fifth, and it's Kariopa and Fraser home in 2:15.87 in sixth place.
Well done, Lucy. Summer, how was your race?
It was pretty good. It was tough conditions out there, but we held it together to the end.
You had a blazing start. How did it feel?
Oh, it was a bit crooked off the start with that side wind, but we managed to get it back straight after a few strokes, and then we're off, yeah.
So I see you training around the lake together. How did you feel it came together today for this final?
Well, to be honest, we've been in the K2 a lot last year, but not recently, so we weren't really sure what it was going to be like. It was probably, we reckon it's about 50-50. We've definitely had better days and definitely had a lot worse when we first got in the K2 together. So, yeah, it was pretty good on the whole.
Didn't look like it today. You girls are well in front. How did it feel coming into the finish, knowing you're the national champions for the K2 500 metres?
Oh, it felt pretty good, eh? Pretty stoked that me and Lucy could hold it together all the way to the finish, and yeah, it was a good race between us and the other girls, and yeah, it's a good battle.
All right, now we get to one of the showcase events. It's the men's K1 500 metres final. We've got some great paddlers in here, including the 2019 national champion Curtis Emery and the 2020 national champion Ashton Reiser. So keep your eye on those two, but there's plenty of other great paddlers in here. Zach Firkins, Hamish Lagarth, Max Brown's in there again, and Taris Harker, who's a really quick paddler as well. Quay Thompson backing up as well from his K1 1000 third place. So we're all set for a start. Men's K1 500 away. Who's your pick here, Alicia?
Oh, we've got some good sprinters in here, so this distance is halfway between the sprinters of the 200 and the endurance of the 1000. So Curtis Emery is a really great 500-metre paddler, so I'll keep my eye on him. Yeah, Curtis Emery in lane number 6. We just got a shot of him there. Him and Max Brown. Max Brown's in lane 7. Both of them weren't here last year, of course. They were at the Oceanias. This man here, Ashton Reiser, is a very good paddler too. He's in lane 3. He's from the North Shore, and he is the national champion, one to watch too. Yes, and these conditions are still providing quite challenging times for these paddlers, but as you can see, they're holding their form really well through this middle section of the race. Yeah, Ben McCallum and Ben Duffy look like they've slipped off the pace. Going well in lane 1 is Quay Thompson. He'll be giving it absolutely everything. Taris Harker, who's lethal paddler over the 200-metre distance, looks like he's keeping up to the pace there of Reiser quite comfortably at the moment. Yeah, he'll be great in that first half of the race. Let's see if he can hold the pace through that second half.
Well, the question is, at the halfway stage, where is Curtis Emery and where is Max Brown? We're waiting for them. Maybe Emery's going to come home and maybe Brown's going to come home with a fast finish. They're going to need one.
Yeah, a lot can happen in this last section of the race as the fatigue sets in and those legs and arms start burning.
Well, Rise has still got a slight lead here. He's at the bottom of the screen here in the black cap. And Curtis Emery on that last wide shot looks like he's starting to make some inroads at the top of the screen.
He is making some gains on the crowd here. He's pulling ahead.
He is indeed, and it's Emery and Riser. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a battle between these two. Emery might have actually put some distance. He has. Excellent second half of the race to Curtis Emery. He wins comfortably. Riser's got second, and Quade Thompson in lane number 1 has come home in 3rd place. Well, I don't know if he had a rocket in the back of his boat, Curtis Emery, but he came home superbly. 1:46.25, won by 2 seconds in the end. That's a significant distance back to Riser in second. Thompson confirmed for third. Brown came home nicely for fourth, just ahead of Harker and McCullum, Firkins, Lagarth and Duffy, all quite similar times, finishing 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th in the men's K1 500-metre final. Yes, so all the plaudits go to Curtis Emery, who wins his second national title in 3 years over this 500-metre distance. He's on track for Tokyo 2021, and he's with our reporter, Kingy Gilbert.
Curtis, what a race.
Yeah, over the moon with that race. It's one of my favourite events as an individual. It's just a nice distance between like 140 to 150 in minutes. So, yeah, no, I executed my race really well. It's quite a challenging conditions out there with a massive crosswind. So out to the left, I had a little bit flatter conditions and I didn't know where they were, but no, I'm pretty stoked with that.
I heard you say you saw a nose on the inside, and that was...
Yeah, all I could see on my visuals was Ashton Riser, his nose out to the left, a big gull sticker, and I was like, come on mate, just got to push it the last 100 metres, and when I crossed the line I had a bit of a look and I was like, yes, I'm pretty stoked.
Awesome. They talk about the top 5%. You're out there a little bit windier, but you still came through. So what was going through your mind in that, you know, you knew you were outside, the wind's a bit tougher. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I've learned over the years as I've got a little bit older, just to forget about it. Like, I'm from Wellington, trained in pretty average conditions before. It's sport. Some people are going to have better lane than others, so just went out there, put my best foot forward, and today I was lucky enough to come away with the win, so over the moon with it.
Yeah, well done to Curtis Emery. Let's get to the K1 200 metres final. No Lisa Carrington, where is she? She's sitting out this event this time because of the Olympic trial. She's won 11 straight titles. So for the first time in 12 years, Alicia Hoskin, we're going to have a brand new champion.
Yeah, and it's also Amy Fisher has been DQ'd in the heats after a false start. So this really is an opportunity for one of these girls to step up and claim that national title.
Lane 4 and lane 5 are the lanes to keep your eye on him, maybe. Olivia Brett, winner of heat number 2, and Kim Thompson, the winner of heat number 1. They are the ones to perhaps keep your eyes on here. Kim Thompson from Poverty Bay, Olivia Brett from Ottawa and Canterbury, and there is Thompson on the right of screen, and lane 6 is Anne Cairns from Samoa. But it is Thompson, those knees are pumping. There's Brett in the green boat, Alicia.
Yeah, and that stroke rate's a lot higher than the past races we've seen. And the legs are pumping, they'll be burning even though it's only a short race.
Yeah, you've got to give everything for 200 metres. Lusa Matahaere in lane number 3 too. She was 7th in this race last year, but Brett looks like she's made a good start here. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be her? Is it going to be Thompson? Is it going to be Matahaere? Perhaps one of the other paddlers like Emma Kemp might come through, but it looks like Thompson and Brett, and it's Thompson who's just got there ahead of Brett, maybe by about a metre or so. A tight race.
Yeah, as you can see, Olivia Brett just dropped off the pace in that last 50 or so metres, so Kim Thompson will be really happy with her performance.
Yeah, Kim Thompson, there she is there. She's got that famous surname, Alan Thompson, her dad. She's the sister of Quade Thompson. Real canoe racing pedigree in that family, and now she joins the list of her brother and her father as being national champion. Great race from Kim Thompson to come through. Really was. And the family will be delighted, won't they? You know these guys well. You're from Poverty Bay too, aren't you?
Yes, proud Gizzy girl, so it's awesome to see the Poverty Bay singlet going proud and taking out that national title.
Yeah, Kim Thompson. Fantastic race for her. Just waiting for the confirmed results. We're pretty sure that Olivia Brett was second. Yes, she was. And it was Lucy Matahaere who just got there by 7/100ths of a second to grab the bronze medal, just ahead of the Samoan paddler Cairns, Brooklyn Saunders, Samalulu Clifton, Brittany Marquette, Emma Kemp and Alex Birmingham complete the field in the K1 200 metres final for 2021. Great race, and a deserved win there for Kim Thompson in this particular race.
Women's K1 200 metre champ, Kim Thompson. What a way to crack it.
Yeah, pretty stoked, eh? Pretty good race.
And talk us through, how was your start?
Oh, the start was good. It's always a bit hit and miss at the moment, but I think must have hit it because it was out pretty strong and then just holding on through to the end.
Yeah, you definitely hit it today. You had a really nice pace at the finish. What was going through your mind in that last 50 metres?
Hold on. Yeah, haven't done much training, so the back end of the race is always a bit of a struggle at the moment, but yeah.
Sure didn't look like it. It looked like you had a lot of energy and a lot of good pace coming down.
I'm glad it looked like that.
Awesome, congratulations. National champ, K1 200 metres.
Yeah, pretty stoked, eh?
Yeah, awesome effort from Kim Thompson. Now to the men's K1 200 metres final. The splash and the dash. Taras Harker in there, lane number 6. Keep your eye on him. Curtis Emery, we just saw him win the 500 a moment ago. He was second in this distance in the national champs in 2019. Ashton Reiser is the winner of the last 2 national titles in this race. He's in lane number 7, and Max Brown is in there again to wreak some havoc. Let's see what he can do in this race. But really, it's Emery, Harker, Reiser are the ones to keep your eyes on. Do you think Zach Firkins as well?
Well, I mean, these boys are going to have a tight race over this short distance, but my eyes are on Taras Harker. He can reach some serious speed off the start.
And Zach Firkins, too, was actually the fastest qualifier in the semis with a time of 38.11. He's in lane 4. There is Curtis Emery, and there is Taras Harker. He just gives it absolutely everything. He's in lane number 6, making good start at lane number 1, Hamish Lagarth. But there's Harker, and lane 4 too is Zach Firkins. They just got to give it everything too, don't they?
Yeah, that stroke rate is high, and it'll be who can drop off speed the least in this race.
Oh, we might need the photo. We might need the camera for a photo finish here. It looks like there are 4, at least maybe 5, who are spread across the course here. Harker, I think, just got there. We might not need the camera after all. I don't know who got second, Alicia. That was an absolute mystery.
Yeah, Ashton Reiser was right there until the last 20 metres, so my guess is potentially he got in and snuck out the silver.
Well, we'll see, but Harker just found something, didn't he, over those last 50 metres to just get his nose in front.
And as you can see, he's about to lunge at the finish line and shoot his boat forward just to guarantee his win.
And it's a magnificent effort from Travis Harker, who's come back, or rather Taras Harker, who's come back from a serious health scare with his heart, and now he's a national champion.
Yeah, and he started training with the boys on Lake Karapiro, so he'll be really happy with his performance today.
So he gets it by 0.2 of a second. Ashton Reiser home in second place, and Curtis Emery home in third. Zach Firkins, who, as I mentioned, qualified fastest in the semis, coming home in 4th place. But Harker, Reiser and Emery, hardly anything between them, particularly Reiser and Emery, and good paddles by the rest of the paddlers as well.
Here we are, men's 200 metre champ. Taras, how was your race?
Oh, it was really good, yeah. Good start, got out in front, and then I sort of held it. That was the goal, so yeah, it's kind of all just a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Do you know what stroke rate you're doing there?
85 strokes a minute, yeah. I know that because it's the same every single time. Yeah.
That was an absolutely phenomenal race, outstanding finish. What was going through your mind as you came across that finish line?
Oh, I was dying pretty hard, so I was just hoping that I could hang on. I know Curtis and Ashton both sort of really do come back pretty strong, so yeah, I was worried about that, but you know, it was good.
And what kind of, how do you get to that lactate? How do you prepare to have that amount of lactate in your body? What kind of training are you doing?
A lot of short sprint stuff to make sure that we are ready for that lactate production, and then being able to tolerate it throughout the end is the hard part. So yeah, it's just lots of short, sharp efforts back to back. Get used to it, yeah.
Taras Harker, congratulations to him. Now we go to the K2 200 metres final. So short race again. And the ones to keep your eye on here, perhaps Lagarth and Duffy. They're in lane number 6. They are the current national champions. Back again is Ethan Moore and Taras Harker. They're right down the bottom of that list there. They were second in the Nationals last year and even the third in the Nationals for backing up again this year. That's Scott Martlew and Ben McCallum, who are in lane number 5. So those are the gun crews. Perhaps. I say perhaps because anything can happen in these short races.
That is certainly right, and Taras Harker just had a standout performance in the K1, so now he's partnered up with Ethan, so they're a combo to watch.
Indeed. And now they are right at the top, Moore and Harker. They're away in the K2 200 metres men's final. Oban Hansen and James Munro in lane number 4 as well, but it looks like lane number 3 made a start too. That's Ashton Reiser and Kalani Gilbertson.
There is not a lot of room for error in these races as they are so short and so fast, so getting off that start is crucial.
Yeah, Reiser and Gilbertson and Lagarth and Duffy. It looks like those are the 2 boats that are going to battle out who's going to win this title.
The water is flying and they're barely breathing, so we're coming in hot.
We are coming in hot, well said, and it looks like it's gone to lane 6. Lagarth and Duffy have defended their national title from the Hawke's Bay, and they have got there by actually quite a comfortable margin in the end, 9/10 of a second almost. Moore and Harker at the top of the screen came second, and Reiser and Gilbertson ended up being disqualified, which means Martlew and McCallum came home in 3rd place.
Man, they'll be really happy with that performance. As you can see, the winds died off as well, so it's some fast times.
Now we go to the women's K2 200 metres final, as we have 6 crews here, Karioppa and Fraser, Saunders and Birmingham, Brook and Kemp. Marquettes are back again, Thompson and Williams, and Fisher and Olivia Brett. This is going to be interesting to see who comes through here. I just wonder if Amy Fisher might have a bit of redemption on her mind after what happened in the K1 200 metres for her.
She will be fired up and ready to go because she is speedy and this is her event.
And she's got a great partner too in Olivia Brett. So they're away. They're in lane 7, right at the top. Right down at the bottom here is Ariana Karioppa and Alex Fraser. And Marquettes, Brittany and Jess in the red boat there. Looks like lane 3's made a good start too. Saunders and Birmingham.
Yeah, for an under-23 crew, that was a really good start to be able to hold on to Amy Fisher and Olivia Brett on the far side.
But it looks like it is going to be Fisher and Brett who are going to be hard to beat, despite the good effort here of Saunders and Birmingham. Bit of a gap back to 3rd place at the moment where the race is on, but it's Fisher and Brett. Here they are.
Yeah,
Looking
there was
good.
a standout start and they'd bring it home for that finish.
Oh, big win for them, wasn't it? And in the end, a good effort by Thompson and Williams to come home in 2nd place. It looked like they nabbed it.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to stay stable in that race compared to their 500-metre race, so they'll be really happy that they're upright and cross the line to grab a medal.
Fisher and Brett, here is the replay again of them crossing the line. And they ended up winning by a huge margin in just the 200-metre race. Get confirmation of the times in just a moment.
What a great experience for Olivia Brett getting to paddle with such class from Amy Fisher. She'll be really happy.
A huge gap. So Thompson and Williams getting there. And let's see who pinched 3rd place. It looks like Brittany and Jess Marquette might have just got there ahead of Saunders and Birmingham in the end, and that is indeed how they have finished. The gap is huge, almost 3 or over 3.5 seconds. That is huge in just a 200-metre distance. Fisher and Brett confirmed as the winners ahead of Thompson and Williams. Marquette's getting 3rd, and then down we go to Karioppa and Fraser, who finished in 48.21 seconds. The women's K2 200 metres finals here at the National Championships of 2021 here at Lake Karapiro. Let's head to our next race. It is the Open Men's K4 500 metres final. And we've got a crew backing up from last year. Jake Kokomore, Ethan Moore, Hamish Lagarth and Ben Duffy are together again in lane number 5. They won the national title last year. No changes in their crew, which is interesting, Alicia. Usually you see a lot of the canoeists mixing it up and changing crews.
Yeah, I suppose they've gone with, if you've got something good, don't change it. Don't blink in this race because it will be over before you know it.
Indeed it will. And they made a good start too. the national champions. They're all from the Ottawa Canoe Club, which is in Canterbury. It's a good shot there of Max Brown.
That grit face to get that stroke rate up. Looks like the crews are staying together nicely, but there's a clear little start lead from Duffy.
Yeah, Duffy and the rest of his crew there, which is Kokomore, Moore and Lagarth. They're in lane number 5. Max Brown, incidentally, is in lane number 6 with his Whanganui mates, Liam Lace, Jack Clifton and Zach Firkins.
This is the final push to the line, so they'll just be trying to hold that speed.
They're doing particularly well, aren't they? In lane 4 coming through here is Curtis Emery, Taras Harker, Tim Waller and Jonty Laver. They're going well. In lane number 4 as well. So looks like Kokomore, Moore, Lagarth and Duffy in that white boat in the centre. Maybe by about half a boat length, you think, Alicia, at the moment over the Emery, Harker, Waller, Laver combination?
Yeah, I mean, they're just settling in to find that running pace and trying to stay together. But as you can see, the stroke rate is still high, so they're still finding that speed and running the boat. But yeah, it's going to be a close call. Whoever can finish the strongest out of these two crews.
Here it is, Kokomore, and it's Moore, Lagarth and Duffy who get there by a couple of metres, but a great effort from Emery, Harker, Waller and Laver to come home in second place. Looked like there was less than a second between them in those two crews, and we'll get confirmation of who came home in third place in just a moment. Max Brown, he's putting in the hard yards, isn't he, eh?
Yeah, what an awesome shot that is of the pain you feel after a good race like that. So, I mean, they'll be really happy, and they live for that feeling.
And it looks like Brown, Lace, Clifton and Firkins did, in fact, get third place in this K4 500-metre race as all the boats come back to the side of the lake. Yes, Kokomore, Moore, Lagarth and Duffy, 1:29.42, just over half a second back to Emery, Harker, Waller and Laver. And they had a good gap back to third, didn't they, over the Whanganui crew.
K4 500-metre men's champions. Hamish, how was your race?
Yeah, it was really good. We've kept the same combination as we did last year. We took out the national champs in this K4 500 last year. So that was good to keep the crew together. We switched up slightly. Duffy over here, he's been stroking a few of our New Zealand boats. So we put him in the front and we nicknamed him the Robot because he just keeps it all consistent. So yeah, I think that helped us get over the line.
Awesome. What was going through your mind in that last 250? It looked pretty close.
Oh, that last 250, I was just thinking, hold on. Just lucky these boys have got a big ticker. The last 50 metres, it was just all burn, all pain, but happy it paid off.
And how was the flow of the crew?
Oh, it was awesome, mate. You know, these boys are world class, you know, so can't get much better than that, eh? It's good.
And all the pacing up the front there, how did it feel in that whole 500 metres?
Yeah, it's really good. I've been paddling with these guys since I was about 17 years old, so I know what to expect when I hop in a crew with these guys. So, yeah, no, it's awesome. It makes my job real easy.
Well, a final race on the program is the men's K4 200 metres final. Blink and you'll miss this one. 4 crews just going for it for the short distance, 200 metres. Good to see an under-18 crew in there too. Christian Marshall, Leon Fuller, Michael Esterhuizen and Matthew Rayhana Asquith. They're in lane number 3. They're under-18 paddlers, Alicia, so it's good to see them coming into the open men's final.
Yeah, what a great experience for them to be up against such great crews.
It's going to be interesting to see who comes through here. Again, we've got a lot of the protagonists from the race we've just seen, the K4 500 backing up.
It'll be whoever can get the speed off the line who will put themselves in a great position to win the race.
Well, it looks like Kokomore, Moore, Harker and Waller got the best of the starts.
With Taras Harker leading that boat and stroking it, you can guarantee they're going to be off to a good start.
Yeah, they are flying, aren't they? We've got Ashton Reiser, Tuva Clifton, Kalani Gilbertson and Julius Peterson hunting them down, but it looks like it is going to be the lane 5, Kokomore, Moore, Harker and Waller, who are going to take some beating here. Although they are trying hard, Reiser, Clifton, Gilbertson and Peterson, but they haven't caught up. It's Kokomore, Moore, Harker and Waller who get it. Good race. As we mentioned, it's over so fast. And it looks like Marshall, Fuller, Esterhuizen and Rayhana Asquith might have got home in third place.
Yeah, there's no room for error in this race. It's over in just over 30 seconds, so these boys are making every stroke count.
good, comfortable win it was in the end for the Karapiro, the paddlers out of the Karapiro Kayak Racing Club. They win it by, what's that, 68/100ths of a second over Riser, Clifton, Gilbertson and Peterson, Marshall, Fuller, Esterhausen and Rehana Asquith in third, and then Nataki, Offwood, Nathan Brown and Cam Wing coming home in fourth place to complete what's been a fascinating race, the men's K4 200 metres finals here at the Canoe Racing New Zealand Nationals for 2021.
Here we are for the North Shore Harty crew, last race of the men's K4 200 metres. Ashton, how was your weekend?
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty stoked with that. It was a much harder competition this year, so I'm pretty happy that the weather stayed nice as well, which helps a lot.
Jules, you've come across from Wakaama. How was your first National Kayak Champs?
Oh, it was bloody awesome, bro. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Good to get amongst it with these fellas. I know, especially this fella's one of the top in New Zealand. Also one of the young boys over there, and my mate Tuva, who's representing Samoa at the Olympics. So it was awesome to rub shoulders with these guys, learn off them, especially how we prepare for the races, going through the race and all that. So it was just really good for me to kind of just get that experience, and I'll definitely put it in the bank and try and move forward from it going forward. So it was awesome, bro.
Awesome, Jules. Tuva, representing Samoa at the Olympics. How are you feeling?
A little bit nervous, but yeah, good to get the cobwebs out after a few months of no competition. Yeah, only about 11 weeks to go now, so yeah, not long.
And Kalani repping there in the younger age group, but jumping in here with the open boys, how does it feel?
Yeah, no, it's been a good weekend, especially jumping in with the older guys. It's been a good buzz, good push along, and it's been an awesome season, racing with all you guys. Yeah, no, pretty happy with it.
So there we are. That's the action here at Karapiro for another year of the Canoe Racing New Zealand Nationals. It's been a really good weekend of action across men's and women's competitions all the way through. What better way to wrap it up than hearing from Tim Brabants again, one of our elite coaches, and get his thoughts.
Tim, the men's races look like they're wrapped up, the key races. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's been a great weekend. We've been really lucky with the weather to have fair conditions across the board. So it was great to see today with Taras just winning the 200-metre open men race there.
Yeah, so what's he's come back into the squad?
Yeah, so just recently, in the last sort of 6-8 weeks, Taras has come back into the main squad, been carded again, which is well deserved. He's a good member of the team. Scott Bicknell was working with him before. He's done some great work, and I've just kind of picked up where Scott's left off and just carried on. And I can't claim a lot to do with Taras as a result, but yeah, he's a good athlete, and it's good to have him part of the team.
Yeah, those races are really tight, the 200 metres. There's splitting hairs. So what's your advice for the guys when they're preparing for a race like the 200 metres?
Yeah, the 200 is all about hitting a high max speed as soon as you can and then staying as close as possible to that max speed. It's really kind of a power-based race and just hanging on all the way to the line. So it's good to see how they're operating out there, and they're doing it. And nice to see some of our 1,000-metre paddlers. You've got like Ashton Riser, who's had a set of 3 really good races in the K1000, 500 and the 200. Same with Curtis and Max and Zach. So as a squad, the men's squad now, we've got a really tight team that are all producing some good results. So it's exciting for the future.
Yeah, so heading into the Olympics, the standards, how do you feel we're positioned?
Yeah, it's really hard because we've not been racing the rest of the world. So we've been watching the results in Szeged and seeing where people are going there. And the rest of the world are still doing well. But Max and Curtis have been stepping on up consistently. And I think it's going to be exciting to see them take on the rest of the world at their first race against them in Tokyo.
Yeah, awesome. Tokyo, I believe, is the last year. We'll have a 200-metre event, and then it's switching to 500-metre.
Yeah, so they're going to stop the K1 200 for the men and women, and they're going to have K2, 500, K4, 500, and K1000 in the men's events. So it's a great opportunity for us, with a team as strong as we've got at the moment, to start targeting those crew boats in the K2, 5 and 1000. Sorry, K2 and K4, 500.
Right. And some of the ages of the guys look around mid-20s, so they've probably got another couple of Olympics in them?
Yeah, easily another couple of games. So, and we're already 1 year into a normal Olympic cycle, so only got 3 years left. So we've got 2 years before we've got to qualify. So fingers on the pulse. Yeah,
so when you're an athlete and you're thinking about your career, what kind of impact does the race format change have to a guy like Taras, who's extremely fast in the 200, having to consider making a move to 500?
So Taras, he'll make that move easily. I mean, he's a great crew boat paddler anyway. We often have him training in the front of a crew boat, and he's got a great rhythm, a great consistency. And so with his 200-metre speed, you can easily stretch him out to 500 metres in a crew boat, and I think we'll have some good success with that.
Well, Max Brown was a star at this year's Nationals. Curtis, Emery, Taras, Harker. And in the women's side, Amy Fisher won a couple of titles. Kim Thompson came through to Alicia. What's your highlight of the Nationals for 2021?
I mean, I was really proud of the K2 1000 for the men. I think it's really awesome to get a glimpse into the work that Curtis and Max have been putting in, and just getting a glimpse into that race, and now we can really back them for the Olympic Games. It's really exciting times.
Yeah, looking forward to all of you guys being in action at the Olympic Games. There we are. That wraps it up from the Canoe Sprint Nationals for 2021. Thanks to my commentator, Alicia Hoskin, Glenn Lamy here, and on behalf of King and Gilbert, our Lakeside reporter, and the rest of the Sky Sport crew, thanks for watching.